First of all, let's send our heartfelt best wishes to Roman Reigns. Apparently last night he revealed that he had contracted COVID a few hours before the day one pay-per-view. No, they actually call them premium live events now, which I kind of like because the pay-per-view system has been dead for years. What this meant was the match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship was cancelled and Brock Lesnar was inserted into the WWE Championship Fatal 4-Way match, making it a Fatal 5-Way. We will talk about that towards the end of this video. But yes, hi, welcome to DMK Wrestling. I am Darkman Kpakpo or John Andrew. You can call me anything. I keep saying that. This is pros and cons for WWE Day 1. I must say, this was a fun show, and let's talk about it. Right, so if you did watch my predictions video, I did say there were 8 matches on the card, 7 on the main, and 1 on the pre-show, but clearly because of this Roman Reigns situation, we now have 6 matches on the main card with 1 on the pre-show, or the kickoff show, I don't know what it's called these days. And this match was greater than I thought it would be. I am giving this a pro rating. Now the big story is Ridge Holland, because Ridge Holland took one of the nastiest bumps already and 2022 just started. So there's this one spot where Ricochet and Cesaro are doing this step-up moonsaults for Ricochet, and Ricochet's foot directly hits Ridge Holland's nose and effectively breaks it. And in a weird sense, this turned it into a 2-on-1 handicap match, and Sheamus, fair play to Sheamus, this man is in his 40s, and the performance he put on in this short period of time was absolutely golden. And you should definitely watch this match. I know most people are not accustomed to watching kickoff matches and their throwaway matches, but the storytelling was so good. Sheamus stepping up, taking on Cesaro and Ricochet, and winning in such convincing fashion. This is why I get a pro rating. It was such a good match, and you should absolutely watch it. And then the event started with the Usos going up against the New Day, and for an opening match, my goodness, this was everything and then some. Pro rating. I mean, we are at a point in time where we've been doing Usos versus New Day for about 6 or 7 years at this point. These 4 men cannot miss a beat, because they were just busting out moves that I have honestly never really seen them use. I mean, at one point, Jimmy also did a whisper to the wind, which is, I think, a nod to Jeff Hardy, which was very heartwarming to see that. But my favorite part of the match was around the last 5 minutes. False finishes everywhere, super kicks that just looked like heads were being taken off, and ultimately the Usos did a 3D, which Pat McAfee rightly retitled or renamed as a 1D because they're the ones. Fair play to these 4 men. I was on my feet clapping literally. People around me would think I'm crazy, but that's what happened, and that's why it gets a pro rating. And then this is the match that I thought was going to get a con on this show, which was Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. It didn't need to be as good as it was. Pro. Now in any case, you can actually skip this match as I don't really think it contributes much, but the wrestling was it was better than it should have been, I'm telling you. I mean, from the opening bell, Drew McIntyre was doing all these suplexes and belly to belly throws to Madcap Moss. You would almost think he was a Scottish version of Brock Lesnar. And to be fair to Madcap is not a small man. I mean, there were parts where his shirt started coming off, his suspenders were floating all over his head. You didn't think that Baron Corbin, or no, Happy Corbin, was going to interfere in the match, and he never did. And I think that was what made this match so good, because we've been accustomed to seeing distraction finishes all through 2021. If you don't believe me, go and watch What Culture Wrestling. It's insane. So fair play to Madcap Moss and Drew McIntyre. I mean, Drew McIntyre is at a point where I don't think he could really have a bad match. This match was unnecessarily good, and this gets a pro rating, as I've said. And then we had the Raw Tag Team Championship match featuring the Street Profits challenging RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Riddle for the championships. So as they're making their way to the ring, Randy Orton just stops Riddle and he's like, hold up, I have a surprise for you. And he signals to the entranceway, come on down. And he brings out the Migos. And in my head, I'm like, oh boy, this is such a high-class gathering. We have the Migos, we have Randy Orton, we have Riddle. If you don't understand what I mean by high class, just look at Riddle's character on YouTube just a bit, and I think you understand. But then the Migos had this VIP section which they were sitting at, and then the match started, and it was pretty fun, and it ended with a pop-up RKO to Montez Ford. And I need to shout out Montez Ford because he was playing these games with Randy Orton at one point in the match, I thought Randy Orton was about to crack. Like, I literally thought he was about to crack, but that didn't happen. This match was fun. It didn't go too long, and I really, really enjoyed this. So for that reason, it also gets a pro rating. And then we had Edge taking on The Miz. Now, like I've said, this feud has been a little weird. Of course, there's been brood bath, there's been weddings. The brood bath happened at the wedding. There have been talk show debates, and you know, it's I can't even say it right, but you get what I'm saying. It's just, it wasn't the best of builds leading up, and I feel it's a filler feud for Edge, as we are all clamoring that he goes to face AJ Styles very, very soon. Now, I need to give this a pro on its own. Edge doing the brood entrance. We saw this at SummerSlam when he was going to face Seth Rollins. I really, really enjoyed that. I don't think we should have gotten it, but it kind of made sense storyline-wise because of the brood bath from a few days ago. But Edge doing the brood entrance will never get old before he transitions into his "you think you know me" stuff. But in terms of the match, I don't know. There was something that was just off for me. I don't know if it was the meshing of the styles necessarily, but I kind of had to give it a chance. It was like, meh, I don't know, meh, you know, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Maybe it was the fact that Maryse was at ringside and I kind of expected her to interfere at some point, which she did when she hit like a $1,000 bag in Edge's face when the ref wasn't looking. A $1,000 bag the size of, I don't know, my power bank. Things can be very overpriced sometimes, but Charlie O'Hia, I don't know. And just when it looked like The Miz might pick the win, Beth Phoenix is just standing there in the entrance ray like Rambo, looking like she's about to kill somebody, and she literally chases Maryse around the ring and to the entrance ramp whilst Miz gets speared by Edge, and that was the finish. The great couple overcoming the it couple. I hope this doesn't mean we are doing a mixed tag, but I mean, it would be okay, but I'll give this a pro, honestly. I didn't want to give it a pro because some things in the match were just, you know, there was some way, technicality-wise, I think it was fine, so that's why I'm giving it a pro. Let's move on to Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Now, I did say in my predictions video yesterday that I did not think that Becky Lynch would lose the title in this match. I was almost wrong. At least I thought I was almost wrong. Because Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch put on an absolute wrestling clinic. By far, it's in contention for second or third best match of the night because the quality was just so good. One of my favorite spots in the match was this one point where Becky Lynch is somewhere trapped in between the second and the top turnbuckle, and Liv Morgan does this beautiful sunset flip into a powerbomb to her and almost picks the pin. That was really good. Liv Morgan has come such a long way from not being able to get on TV to being in a Raw Women's Championship match against the man Becky Lynch. This was everything. And then some. It was way better than I actually expected it to be, and this gets a solid pro rating. Now, the ending character-wise was just so good. You should really go and watch this match, I'm telling you. But there was one point in time, Liv Morgan hits this big move, and Becky Lynch, knowing that she was probably not going to be able to kick out, had the presence of mind to roll out of the ring, further frustrating Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan gets her on the outside with another huge move, throws Becky Lynch into the ring, and before she can get back into the ring herself, Becky Lynch rolls out again. And then there was a lot of back and forth, and you did think that Liv Morgan was going to pick up the win, and Liv Morgan is going for her finisher, the Oblivion, when Becky Lynch is against the ropes. But Becky Lynch, catching her with every bit of strength she has, realizes she can hit her finisher, the manhandle slam, and hits Liv Morgan with it and gets the 1, 2, 3. And she does this weird thing where, you know, where she's going to use the ropes to try and get leverage on the pin. She can't even reach the rope, so she just takes a clean pin, and that's that. Character-wise, I loved it, but everything aside this match was golden, and it gets a pro. Easily, you should watch this match. And then our final match of the night, the WWE Championship Fatal 5-Way match between Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, the almighty Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar. Now, as wrestling fans, we have been waiting for a confrontation of some kind between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. And this was going to be the first time we saw it, and my God, it did not disappoint. This whole match was fun. It was 8 minutes long, but it was very, very fun. Now, in terms of the story, everything was literally against Big E and Seth Rollins. I feel sorry for them because, first of all, they have a 50% chance against each other to win. Then Kevin Owens inserts himself, and it becomes a 33 and a 3% chance of each man winning the title. Then Bobby Lashley gets into the fray, 25% chance, and on brand, tonight, on the night of the pay-per-view, it becomes a fatal 5-way. So each man has a 20% chance of winning. Although with Brock Lesnar, you might want to inflate it to like 60 and give everybody like small percentages. I can't do the math on the spot, but you get what I'm saying. Right from the onset, they all start to attack Brock Lesnar, but still, I mean, it's Brock Lesnar. He's going to do the Suplex City thing, and you know, it was fun. This match was fun. There was one spot where Bobby Lashley speared Brock Lesnar through the barricade. That barricade has literally taken a hit every week, and it's starting in 2022 already. And to have that as the first interaction, it's setting something up, I can assure you. And then there was this point where Bobby Lashley got thrown through a table by Big E, and then Big E gets back into the ring and has a confrontation with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And Kevin Owens is about to do this swanton bomb onto Big E, but Big E gets his knees up, and then right out of nowhere, Seth Rollins comes and hits Big E with a frog splash and almost gets the pin. And then fast forward to one point where Brock Lesnar literally just came out of nowhere and goes on an F5 spree until Bobby Lashley just comes and wipes him out with a spear, and was this close, look at my fingers, was this close from winning the title until Brock Lesnar kicks out. And then Bobby Lashley put this massive 286-pound man called Brock Lesnar in the headlock, and it doesn't look like Brock Lesnar can even get out. When Big E makes the save, Big E, I think, hits Bobby Lashley with the big ending, only to get hit by an F5 by Brock Lesnar and got the 1, 2, 3. So there it is, new WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. And the crowd reaction is just fun because everybody is like, oh my god. And then everybody realizes that Big E is no longer WWE champion, and they're like, oh boy, Big E really just lost the title. And then Brock Lesnar holds the title up, and everybody's like, yeah, okay, we love you, Brock Lesnar, you know. But, you know, solid pro rating. I love this match. I really loved this match. It didn't go too long. It was fun. It was 5 of the most talented people in all of WWE. I do have questions as to what may have happened if Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar had faced off, especially with that whole Paul Heyman storyline going on. So overall, day 1 pay-per-view, what I thought about it, solid show. This is the template that WWE needs to implement for their premium live events, and actually if they could extend this to Raw, I think to be a much better show. I really think the problem is the time. But really, when you look at it, everything on this show worked. Some of the things that didn't work were paid off in very good ways, like the Beth Phoenix stuff, which kind of saved the Edge and Miz situation. Overall, day 1 is a must watch, and I'm giving this an overall pro rating. Now tell me if you saw day 1. I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section and your opinion on the results for the matches. Like the video, share, and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my main channel, Darkman Kwakpo, as well. I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in another video very soon. Take care. Bye.